Hi, I'm Angel Ortalaza.
And I'm Eric Minhares. Hey guys, just letting you know, you seen those movies with the epic coaches? You could play on them right now. Angel, tell them why.
Alright, you know what, guys? We want to encourage you and remind you that we're your exclusive coach for fantasy football. Listen, you can email us, you can tweet us with questions about trades or pickups. You have us. How many people can say that they have an exclusive fantasy football coach? You have us to guide you. Make it true for yourselves. And whether, some of you guys already have hunches on certain players, well, we'll reaffirm those hunches or give you new information.
Yeah. Guys, I'm bringing up, 2 segments. Again, Angel, let them know which ones.
That's right. We have Classic and Classified. Classic fundamentals that every fantasy football player should know. If this is your first or second year playing, these are the do's and don'ts that you should know. Classified, for our veterans, we're going to give you information that most experts won't tell you in order for them to keep an edge in their own leagues. See, we're not going to do that. This can be your key to staying one step ahead of everyone else.
And then we got Redzone Pursuit. We're going to give you guys, who to look out for, who to avoid, player updates, and this is the part where the points add up, for your week, for your season, all the way up to your championship. So,
hey, guys, welcome to Fantasy Football Redzone.
Boom. All right. Classic and Classifieds. Angel. All right, draft day comes up. You walk in. How should you walk in? What should you have?
All right, so classic information, guys. Walk into your draft prepared. Walk in with your team requirements, your roster list. So if it's QB, just make sure you have a list of all the players so that when you start drafting, you can just fill those names right next to every position of the player that you picked up. Along with player rankings. Have some player rankings printed out already. Highlight a couple players that you're interested in, that you want to keep an eye on, and have that ready for yourself.
Yeah.
The reason we bring this up is because it's so helpful. It helps you zero in and focus in on your game plan going into the draft. It helps you stay consistent with the players that you're interested in. And without those sheets, some people like to do it mentally, but then it throws you off with the draft. People pick different players, and you just want to be able to stay on track with who you wanted originally.
Yeah, especially if, for a timely manner, you want to be able to pick fast if you're being timed. You know who you want.
Exactly. And the thing is that it's not just for offline drafts, it's for online, right, as well. Because if you're in front of a computer screen drafting, have that paper in front of you so you can cross those players out as you go as well.
So what can they use for this? What are some tools that most people don't know about or use?
Okay, yeah. So this is classified information right here. A lot of people don't know this, but if you guys go to www.fantasypros.com/NFL/rankings/consensus-cheat sheets .php. I'm glad that URL is at the bottom of the screen. If you go to that website, you're going to be able to, on there, you'll see the player rankings, and then there's a button that's going to allow you to pick your experts. What this does is that this actually allows you to pick experts from different networks, all sorts of different networks, not just Yahoo, ESPN, CBS, all these different, and then you can right there select which experts you want to create the list for you, and it'll generate the list. The advantage here is that instead of having a generic list that, is very dumbed down with overall players, you print out a player ranking, it has so many different opinions on it. This gives you a more detailed, precise list on experts. So
let's say you got that draft day. If you have some time before draft day, what can people do to help themselves out?
Yeah, just make sure that you go and do mock drafts. This is now your classic information. Mock drafts have been around for a while. Some people do them, some people don't, but we want to encourage you to do them. It helps you get in that zone. It helps you prepare for draft time. Helps you with not only time, because you'll start to feel the flow of what players you're looking out for, what players you're trying to get, but it also helps you with your draft order. If you're in the beginning of the picks, if you're towards the end, it helps you get an idea of how you're gonna attack. And so mock drafts are never a bad idea. It only helps you get better, right? Practice makes perfect.
Yeah. So guess what to expect, basically, right?
Exactly.
All right. So, last week we were talking about don't draft, certain, kicker defense at the end of your draft, stack on talent. let's say it's your draft is near or you're 1 week right before, a couple of days. What should you do for that?
So see, this is really good information right here. This is highly classified, and what's it's so classified that Eric here almost didn't want to say it because he has a draft coming up, and he wanted to wait till after the draft to reveal this information. So I'm snitching on you, man. We're gonna, like we said, we're gonna lay it all on the line. So we'll tell you from the get-go, right here. So if what we want you to do is, like we said, don't draft a defense or kicker. If it's the 12th round, your last pick, go ahead and pick, towards the end, pick a defense if you do. Or if you don't pick them up in the draft, afterwards, cut a player out, right? You're going to have a defense before the season starts.
Yeah.
What we want you to do is not even worry about the top-rated defense. People are going to waste their picks on that. People are going to pick those. But there's always 1 to 2, 3 defenses that start the season off with really easy matchups. And they don't have to be great defenses, but because they're facing a poor offense, they're really going to accelerate, and that's going to put you one step ahead. For 2015, the ones we looked at is Miami and Carolina.
Yeah.
Miami's facing the Redskins week 1, and they're facing the Jaguars week 2. And then Carolina's facing Jaguar week 1, and then the Houston Texans week 2. So those are the guys. You don't need a draft. They're not the top defenses. You're going to be able to pick Miami. I like Miami. Pick them up and then use them for the first 2 weeks. Get a head start. You're going to have all those players and then all those points from that defense. And then after that, you can go ahead and drop them after week 2 and pick up a better defense. But hey, that's a little classified information. Look at those matchups.
Yeah, overlooked, and that can make a big difference for you.
For sure. All right. Man, so Redzone Pursuit this week is really interesting because last week we had Redzone Pursuit and we talked about some of the players, but a lot of the players were top players that a lot of you guys already, they get talked about a lot. Now we're going to dive in a little deeper and talk about some more guys that are coming up this year that you haven't heard about. So let's give them that information, Eric.
Yeah, so we talk about like round 1, round 2, what to expect, what positions. Right now we're going to go to 3 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
But before we do, I'm going to give you a disclosure on one of the top-ranked players, DeMarco Murray.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He might not produce the same numbers as last year. Reason being, he's still in good offense, but he might split a lot of the work.
Yeah.
As LaShawn McCoy did with Sproles last year. So, just a caution out there.
Yeah, there's Darren Sproles, Ryan Matthews. That's a crowded backfield. It's hard for any player to really stand out. DeMarco Murray's a great back, but they're sharing time. So,
yeah,
just have that in mind.
And then to piggyback off last week's cliffhanger, Frank Gore,
yeah, let's get it going. What about that guy?
Last year, he faced a lot of 8 in the box, okay? Because they want to stop him and the run, with the QB sneak.
With the 49ers, yep.
Yep. So now he's with the Colts. Andrew Luck will spread the defense a lot more with his wide receivers, giving Gore, who's always consistently healthy, producing solid numbers. Not great, but solid. But we expect him to do better now as the box won't be stacked against him.
Yeah, I hadn't really noticed that he did have to face those 8 in the box a lot last year. So, and then with Jim Harbaugh, they've also mentioned that his receptions, Frank Gore used to be a pass-catching running back.
Yeah.
And then with Jim Harbaugh, under his coaching staff, his receptions went down because that's not Jim Harbaugh's coaching style.
Yeah.
So now he's under a different system. He should be able to get back to his natural form and get some receptions for you PPR leagues as well.
Yeah.
Hey, Lamar Miller, what about that guy?
So, we were all surprised he did good last year.
Yep.
So, this year, they expect to give him more carries. He might still share with other people, but if he stays healthy, expect him to do good this year. And he's still 3rd, 4th round value. So, if you win any other pick, if you got maybe a QB or a receiver, you can still get him like around 3rd or 4th as a RB.
Yeah.
Good.
All right. Latavius Murray.
That guy looks really good.
Yeah.
Recently, last year he only had 2 games to really show off his skills before he couldn't play anymore. But pretty much he looks the same as those 2 games. So that's all we can expect right now. Good value for the 4th round.
And then he's been correcting his posture right here, right? He's just running more up. Instead of running upright, he's ducking down.
Breaking more tackles. Able to break more. Go a little further than he used to.
Yeah. All right, and then Joseph Randle, we touched base on last week. Great back to kind of look at. We talked about that offensive line, so yeah, keep him in mind. But Amir Abdullah.
That guy looks really good. Super talented. He's gonna share some time with Drake Bell when Drake Bell comes back, but we expect it's just a matter of time before either Drake Bell gets hurt again or Amir Abdullah just takes over.
Yeah. And if you guys haven't watched that guy yet, if you haven't seen some of the preseason games or just some of his highlights, watch him. There's some things that stats show, and then there's something that you can see just by watching this player. I like the way he cuts, the way he runs, his vision.
It's exciting.
Yeah. All right. Andre Ellington.
Don't draft him. Pick around him. But for whatever reason, if you're going to get running backs in the first 2 rounds and you're desperate, you can pick him, but handcuff him with David Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, they have Chris Johnson back there as well.
Yeah.
I mean, he's injured, but yeah, it's just another one of those backfields that has some more talent other than that. So, Melvin Gordon.
Melvin Gordon, don't draft him.
Enough said. All right.
Yeah. Rookie running backs, pick around him. There's a lot of good value around him, so don't let someone else take him.
Exactly, and Todd Gurley was one of those too, and he's injured anyway. Yeah, stay away from these guys. All right, so those were the running backs. Moving on more into the wide receivers, because we are in the 3rd and 4th round. We want to pick up a wide receiver. And if some of those big names are gone already, if they're snatched, who are we going to be looking out for? Because, Antonio Brown, Julio Jones, Demaryius Thomas, Odell Beckham, Dez Bryant, these guys may not make it to the 3rd round. So,
top of the list, there's 2 guys in mind. First one, Alshon Jeffrey. Cutler produced with him a lot when Brandon Marshall was gone. So he should do this year just as well.
Yeah.
He's having hamstring problems, so be cautious, be aware if you hear anything. But he's one of those. Then you have Randall Cobb, who's also up there.
Yeah. Yeah, with Jordy Nelson getting injured, obviously, recently, that shouldn't change it too much for Randall Cobb because he's a slot receiver anyway. And last year, he was actually the number 1 slot receiver. He had more touchdowns than anyone else out of the slot. And so his role will somewhat remain the same. It's more Devontae Adams stepping up and taking over Jordy Nelson's role. And I heard mixed reviews. Some people feel like now with Jordy Nelson gone, the Packers lost their Super Bowl chance. It's a huge deal. And I've heard other people say, no, Devontae Adams, it's Aaron Rodgers giving these wide receivers that success. So Devontae Adams should be able to step in there and have comparable numbers to what Jordy Nelson. Obviously not the same thing.
Yeah.
He's as new to the league, but he should be up there. So expect that production. Mike Evans.
Good wide receiver. Expect good things from him. He should do better than last year because it's the 2nd year. But he's having hamstring problems. Just have caution with drafting him. Make sure you know what's up with him as of late.
All right. T.Y. Hilton.
Really good. Really good. He's healthy. Another year with Andrew Luck. Now he has Andre Johnson next to him and other receivers that would help take attention away from him. So expect good things, better than last year.
DeAndre Hopkins.
Good receiver. He plays better with Foster's there because he helps, take away some of the attention as a running back. But he should still do good. Foster's going to come back. Just watch out. Make sure you watch out. Keep up to date with stuff on how he's performing.
Brandon Cooks.
Cooks, highly recommend him. He's got Drew Brees. He was doing really good at the end of last year. He was catching on fire.
Yeah.
Until he got hurt. 2nd year back, he knows better, chemistry with Drew Brees, so he should be doing better.
Yeah, there's a lot of hype around this guy. You want to make sure you get him before anyone else. He's a small guy, but he is quick. He can run these routes, and he's someone to look out for. Jordan Matthews.
Good. Eagles offense always does pretty well. He's going to be the focus of it, the passing game.
Yeah.
So
a lot of talent there. This is another guy.
Good 4th round value.
Emmanuel Sanders.
Be careful. He should do good. He's not playing on the outside anymore. He's playing in the slot. So he might not produce the same numbers, but he still has Peyton Manning. And he does have some hamstring problems. So I would draft him definitely after these guys. But he's up there. Good value.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. So what to expect in the coming episodes. We gave you some good information now, but what's left on the table? Much more. What about that script episode?
Yeah. I'll help you guys with trades. So if you're having trouble, we will help you use facts. How to sell players, how to get players for your league.
Remember, this is coming up. And then later on in the other rounds, we have some more guys that we're going to talk about, more sleepers diving in deeper. Devin Funches, Greg Olsen,
Travis Kelce.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys out there. Rookie video.
Yeah, we have a rookie video. So if you're a rookie, you want to learn stuff. If you're still a veteran, you want to make sure you didn't miss anything, Good for you to watch.
Coming up very soon. So guys, email us at fantasyfootballrz@gmail.com.
Yeah. Follow us on Twitter, Redzone 15.
And Fantasy Football Redzone, YouTube. Subscribe on the button below. This is the channel you've all been waiting for, with all the information you need.
Football's back, baby. Let's do this.
See you next week.